Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Talk of the Empire, episode number 4. Here with me, nearly Zero Empires, and Lirry. How are you doing today, Zero Empires?
Hey Nilly, I'm doing great, thanks, and I'm looking forward to doing another show. We're going to be having Lirry here, or as I like to call him, Larry. And how's it going, Larry?
Hey guys, what's up? Yeah, I'm fine. Hope
Oh,
you're good too.
yeah, we're doing great. For all the guys who don't know who Lirry is, Lirry just recently became number one in the Woobly 1v1 ladder. And yeah, that's super impressive. Yeah, especially because yeah, it's so tough. Woobly is super competitive. All the top players play there, and yeah, that's the yeah Woobly 1v1 rating list at the moment. And Lirry, how proud are you of yourself? And do you think you deserve it to be number one?
Well, of course it's a great achievement, but well, what to say? Like, I don't think so. It means that much for me since it's only a ranking, and yeah, most top Wobble players don't really play for rating, just play for fun. Important things are the tournament results, right? But of course it's a good feeling if you're number one in Wobble, right? In the rating.
It's
Um,
definitely a milestone. It's definitely an achievement, to say the least. Oh wow, I've just noticed Notepad's t-shirt on the stream.
yeah.
That's quite amazing.
Yeah. The pyramids are real, so I had to go for it.
Yeah.
Expanding to real life now. Okay, so Lirry, a lot of people obviously now know that you're super young and that you're super successful with Age of Empires, but what are you doing in life? Are you still going to school? Like, how does your day look like?
Well, I'm still going to high school, or yeah, to high school, and I'm currently studying programming and software engineering, and I'm
Okay.
planning to finish my school in like 2 years. And yeah, then I'll probably get a programmer, or let's see how it's going with the gaming life, the streaming career and all that stuff.
Okay.
Let's see.
So when did you start? Like you're super young. You're 17. I was playing Age of Empires online before you were born, and now would have no chance in a real Arabia 1v1. It's so depressing. And when did you start? And yeah, how did you get motivated in such a kind of old game?
Well, I started watching my brother when I was like 10 years old, playing Age of Empires, and then my whole family started to play AOC. My brother, my sister, my father, and yeah, that was a huge fun. We were always playing against bots and sometimes even online. And yeah, but then sadly my family quit playing AOC since they got slower and stuff like that. They got a real life. Well, got they already got, but they were busy now with more. They were busy with their real life now, and yeah, I still had some free time, and I thought, why not play more? Since it's making me happy, why not?
Yeah. Okay. So, but still, you came into the game so late, and you made like huge progress in so little time. How did you do that? Like, do you think you're super talented, or was it a lot of hard work?
I think it was more like because I enjoyed the game. Like, I enjoyed it a lot. And of course, when you enjoy something, you start playing it more often and more often, and of course, you keep improving. Also, if you don't really see the improvement so fast, you know that you will always improve if you play more.
Okay. Um. Yeah, but still, like, it wasn't an option for you to go into like a bigger game. For example, now you are probably, let's say, you're very safe top 10 in the world. There would be so much money in other big games. For example, is that an option for you, or are you stuck with Age of Empires now?
I will keep playing AOC for a while, that's for sure, since it's my favorite game, after all. And well, when I was younger, my family didn't really play bigger games, so yeah, I didn't really get to know them.
Okay,
But of
so
course, I'm happy knowing AOC.
Okay. So you're now number one in the Woobly ranking, but obviously a lot of top players don't care too much about the ladder. How good are you? Are you the number one, or is the Viper better, or where would you rate you in yourself in the overall standings at the moment?
Mm, I don't think I'm number one yet, but I think I'm like top 10 or so, because I still have to improve on some maps and about some decision makings and stuff like that, and still need some more experience.
Okay,
And yeah,
what exactly is missing to be number one?
maybe it's just more time. We'll see. We'll see. If I keep playing like that, if I keep playing that much, maybe I will get it in a few years, number one. But let's see. Let's see.
Few years,
Or
okay.
earlier.
Well, it takes a lot of time and dedication, to improve that much, I guess. I mean, even being top 10, there's always stuff to improve and to work on, I suppose.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So you said to improve on other maps, and I was checking out your Voobly profile, and I think out of the last 128 games, 115 were on Arabia. So what maps do you feel, or what like type of maps do you feel that you really need to work on?
I think there's like the mixed maps, like for example, Continental or stuff like that. And of course also on non-regular standard TC maps, for example, Nomad, Land Nomad, and yeah, on maps like this, maps like those, I guess.
Hmm.
Since I don't really play them too often.
Okay, but
Okay.
you
Do you
didn't...
feel like
Yeah, okay, go ahead, Zero.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, do you feel like you're really comfortable with Arabia, but when it comes to maps where you might need to improvise a bit more or do something a little bit more out of the box, is that where you feel like you need to work on that?
Yeah, I still have to work on my decision making, that's for sure, because sometimes I just do such stupid mistakes, which might cost me the games in like competitive tournaments or against other top players. And yeah, also I need more experience, and of course there are like so many more maps I still need to play, or watch, or study. And yeah, we'll see.
Okay, it seems like at the moment you and Hart are playing a lot of 2v2, and we have to rate you one of the top 2v2 teams in the world. How good would you think you are when it comes to 2v2 Arabia? Sadly, Master of Arabia 2v2, let's not talk about that. And but how good are you, do you think, as a 2v2 team?
I think we could beat anyone on Arabia 2v2, I think, because like we played so much 2v2 Arabia, we thought about every shift, every situation so much, and we just also have the teamwork, like great teamwork, and we also know what units to go for each game. So I think we could beat anyone on Arabia.
Yeah. How did it come up that you and Hart teamed together?
I think that was some time ago. When was it? Maybe 1.5 years ago, when Hart only played BF, and that time I still used to play BF regularly, and yeah, then I started playing with him, and yeah, met each other, and then we teamed up, and I always kept trying to get into other maps, but he always kept saying no. But then he started playing 1v1s, and now he's also playing team games, so yeah, he's learning, you know.
Yeah.
He's catching you up.
But he isn't like as successful as you are in 1v1s, in tournaments. What is missing for him?
Well, obviously, I have been playing Arabia since I started Woobly. Since I started playing on Woobly, and he's playing Arabia for how many months now? Like half year or 1 year.
Wow. Okay.
So, but of course, he always used to play BF like Arabia style. He always loved to rush and yeah, do some crazy stuff.
Why
But yeah,
start with BF then?
I don't know. I think his friends and Hart used to play BF all the time together, and I don't know. It's probably the map he enjoys.
I think it's more fun to do that on BF because it annoys the people who want to just wall up on Boom, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, Hart's still doing pretty well on the Voobly ranking anyway. I mean, he's sitting in sixth position, 16th position on the 1v1 ladder, which is one step above Doubt. But, you know, as you said before, it's not a true ranking as people are just playing for fun. And that's certainly the case. But do you think we'll see Hart in some tournaments, 1v1 tournaments? Do you think he'll go for it?
Yeah, I'm already trying to get him to play some tournaments, some 1v1s, and also, of course, team games. And he said he will join quite some tournaments in the future. And yeah, of course, we will practice it of course, we will practice together. And yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Great. Well, he's in the chat as well, so he can maybe answer in the chat also. But yeah, obviously, it's mostly about you here. So you've got the elimination draft coming up this weekend, and I wanted to ask how sort of prepared you are for that. Have you spent more time looking at the Age of Empires 2 HD civs as well?
Well, I haven't really looked up for the HD tournament yet. I just went through all the maps, and today I played some games with Doubt, but that's pretty much it. And I'm planning to play some more games tomorrow, and also watch the qualifier, of course, to learn more about some situations and maps and civs, stuff like that. So yeah, I will still prepare something.
Awesome.
Okay.
I like to see it when players take the time to prepare. That's always good.
Yeah, we will talk about tournaments in general a bit later on as well. So then let's move on, because we had some very surprising, not announcement, but no, it wasn't a leak, but I'm not even sure how to call it. But I just show you guys. It's the Steam info board, and it says Age of Empires new downloadable content 2 days ago. And that means, is there another DLC in production, or what does that mean, Zero Empires? Could you translate that?
Well, I mean, okay, so I don't actually know what this is. I have no insider information or anything like that. But generally speaking, when something goes on that list, it means that it's going to be some additional content for the game. So the other stuff that's listed there, you know, you can see the Forgotten, the African Kingdoms, and the Rise of the Rajas. Like, personally, I don't know how I feel about another DLC with more civilizations. You know, there's 31 civs in the game right now. Do we need more? So I wonder if this is maybe like a campaign pack or something along those lines that's not quite as major. Yeah, since it's so soon after the Rise of the Rajas as well, you know.
I think if we have another like Rise of the Rajas big thingy within the next 6 months, it has to be bad. It can't really have good civilizations, nice new units, new features. Like Rise of the Rajas did add a lot of nice new stuff, I felt, but it would be way too soon. And is it really necessary at the moment? There's so much that we need to focus on HD first, or is it something different? Like Forgotten Empires teams makes expansions, and something like less lag, more spec overlays or something, spectator settings in general. That's Skybox?
Yeah, that's right. I don't think that would come in a DLC though. Like, I don't think they would release extra functionality to the game in a DLC, because a DLC is traditionally about adding new content to the game. So, you know, adding new civs, adding new maps, adding new campaigns or whatever. So I mean, I've no idea what it could be really, and I would hope that we'll find out soon, I guess. But since they're still working on the game, since they're still developing it, if I had to guess, it would be something to at least continue funding the development, I assume.
Okay. So Lirry, obviously you didn't play AOC, or you did play AOC for a lot of years. How do you like the new expansions at the moment? Do you enjoy the new civs?
Yeah, they're pretty great. Like, I really love them playing them, because there are so many new things on HD, also some new maps, and The Civs are so new. You aren't used to them, so anything can happen in the games, and you don't really think about any situation in the game when you haven't played any new Civ. Because yeah, it's pretty fun.
There's quite a lot of new mechanics with the new civs as well. So, you have to kind of think differently about them. I wanted to ask you actually, do you actually have a favorite of the new civs, or have you not really played them enough to have a favorite yet?
I have played them, and I think my favorite Civ is Vietnamese. It's obviously it's Archer Civ, and I love the Red and Archers so far.
Okay. And they're tanky for archers. They are special. But
Yeah.
I still feel like obviously if they're faster they would be Imba, but mm, for me they're too slow and I can't like they're too much like a longbow in Castle Age. But yeah,
Mm.
just my thoughts. That
Yeah. Well, I think the thing with the Rattan Archer is it doesn't have the health pool of a plumed archer. If you want to make that comparison, in terms of an archer that's quite good at dealing with other archers, and so I think they kind of fall down in the Castle Age, but in the Imperial Age they definitely work pretty well.
Okay, so new DLC. Let's just quickly talk about new patches. 1.5 for
Mm.
Voobly was kind of announced, like the features. Everyone got super excited. Nothing new yet. In AOC Zone, someone was asking for an update, and they said it will take some more time, so we will see about that. 5.2 for Steam. Do you know anything there, Zach?
No, I did read something recently about 5.2 being delayed because obviously it's still in the closed, or sorry, the open beta right now. And everyone said that 5.2 is definitely better than 5.1. But I think Mornus, the developer, said on the Steam forums at some point that 5.2 won't be released for a long while. And I think they'll actually end up releasing 5.3 instead of releasing 5.2 publicly.
What?
Yeah. But at least, I don't know. I don't know why. I can't remember the reason. Maybe I'll be able to find it if you go ahead and talk about user patch for a minute.
Nah, it's fine. Yeah, user patch. Everyone
Okay.
has so many high hopes, and I feel like 5.2 and 1.5 would be finally the step into real professional gaming, because it would be the first time forever in this game that we could play games with minimal lag. Because at the moment it's like a lot of people aren't taking this game seriously because it's still so tough to micro, so much lag. It takes time till the villagers and the army moves, and if that would be fixed, I think we would, yeah, get into a huge step of like professional gaming.
Yeah, there's only so far it can go when it's peer to peer, which is what Age of Empires is. Everyone has to connect to everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But compared to having a server, for example, where everyone else connects. But still, even in the base game, even in AOC, there's built-in lag because the game was built in 1999 when you had to have this inbuilt lag because computers couldn't deal with the speed. But nowadays, with better computers and stuff, everyone should be able to manage having less lag in the game, and it should be able to run faster. And I think that's really a big step forward. And it sounds like both user patch and the HD team are kind of thinking on the same way here.
Yeah,
Really cool.
yeah, and I love this direction. And yeah, what else I love is streaming at the moment. We have so many streams. Lirry is streaming, Hard is streaming, Doubt started to stream. We have still going strong T90, Mamp is streaming daily. The Viper has a lot of, and there's so much going on. And I was playing a lot of poker this past 2 weeks, so I couldn't like play and stream myself. But I watched so many streams, and it was so tough to decide which one to take. I had like 3 good options there. Why is it exploding so much at the moment?
Well, I mean, it's a difficult question to answer, I guess. I mean, everyone's seen. I think that people have seen Viper being extremely successful, and they've thought, you know what, let's start streaming as well. But I think streaming is just a lot of fun in general, to be honest. I think a lot of people will just find, their fans or whatever, and it's a great way to interact with people. So I think it's great to see so many people streaming nowadays, and I'm interested to see where it's going to go, because the more people who stream, the more interest in general there's going to be around Age of Empires 2.
Yeah, probably. So Lirry, you started to stream as well. How are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it very much, since I can interact with the viewers, and of course it's nice to see like some people having behind you, watching you play, watching all the mistakes you do, watching all the great moves and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of fun with it.
Okay, so it's so much better than just playing.
I feel like it's funnier for me.
Okay.
Do you think that streaming motivates you to play better? Does it make you want to play better for the viewers, or is it just kind of just a bit of fun?
Yeah, I think a bit of both. Since when you get larger viewer pools, you obviously want to play better to show them all what are your skills and stuff like that. But of course, it's also for enjoying yourself, for the streaming and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so two stories I want to share. First, I saw a lot of Doubt stream now, and I was surprised how slow he is. I know he's old, but I was really like shocked. I think he has the same speed like I do, and I was really like, his mouse clicking was like so far away from the likes of Slam, Riot, Viper, Lirry, and I was really shocked. Did you see his stream, guys?
Yeah, I watched.
And did you make the same observation, or am I the only one?
Yeah, he is a bit slow, I would say, but it doesn't really matter, since he has all the great experience and all the right decision making, and yeah, since he knows everything about this game.
Yeah, probably. Okay, and the other thing. Oh, okay, Zach, go ahead first.
Oh, I was just gonna say that, like, Age of Empires 2, it's not a game where super high micro is really that important, because there is a huge amount of decision making involved as well. And like Lirry said, he's got years and years of experience with that. But it was a little bit surprising, I guess. I just think though that, as long as you've got enough speed that you can micro your army in a crucial situation, then I think that's really important. But after that, I think a lot of it can just be excess.
Okay, the other story was, I need to calm myself before telling the story. Okay, so I was at T90's stream, and he was searching for a guy to host, and he obviously loves and says like, okay, let's rate him. Then everyone gets on his stream and is posting the woo-woos, and that's super sweet. And he is always trying to push people which are very unknown. And he hosted a guy who had 3 viewers. One of them had to be himself, and like 400 views in general. Normally he's playing different other games. He had in his schedule, very professional stream though, and we jumped to this game, and he's playing Age of Empires with his friends. They were in Discord and were chatting, and we jumped into the game exactly when he started. And his build-up was really like 2 villagers on lumber camp, then 1 villager scouting around his TC to find a sheep. This villager is running to the TC and is getting food there, and then he's building farms 4 tiles away from the TC, but then all next to each other, and it was beautiful to see. And then, like, you knew, like, Castle Age before minute 40 is not an option here. And then he says, okay, I'm Vikings, let's not build a wonder to not let the game finish too fast. What? Oh, wow. And I couldn't hold myself. He said, let's build not a wonder to not end this game too fast. And you reach Imperial Age like after 15 minutes or something. I couldn't take it anymore.
Wow.
This guy. And chat was going crazy. Vagamama was there, T90, all the guys, like we had 200 viewers going over from T90 channel. And it was such like a guy who hadn't played this game for years for sure, and yeah, and it was just such a nice experience, and that's what I love about all those Twitch chat trolling, and so many people enjoyed it. Although this guy had never seen a build order or something, and it was super nice.
Gotta remember though, that's like probably over 90% of the players who've ever played this game.
Yeah.
That was me and you at one point. That was Liereyy at one point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny.
But we weren't streaming for 200 people at that time.
That's true as well. But yeah. By the way, speaking of streaming, you and Doubt are going to get a sub button soon as well.
Sweet.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
You and I is Neely and Doubt or Lirry and Doubt?
I meant Nearly and
Okay.
But I can probably
I can understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
I streamed like 2
Sweet.
times, and one time was I failed because I was dropping too many frames.
Okay. Yeah, that's super sweet for me. Then I will probably try to do the Easter weekend for a marathon, Age of Empires marathon.
Ooh.
I will advertise it with like 50 hours, but personally, I try to go for 60.
How is that possible?
Well, I did 37 last time, and that felt doable. And
Did you know
that
a streamer has actually died while streaming on Twitch before? We don't want to make that too.
And only after 23 hours. That's no dedication.
Wow, that's crazy, man.
But yeah,
I
see.
don't know how you could do that.
I want to test my limits, but yeah, we will see about that later. Yeah. So then let's jump to the next point. When it comes to streaming, the Viper 24-hour stream, that was a blast as well. Yet endless amount of viewers, endless amount of donations, extreme. It was so funny, very diverse schedule as well. Did you guys see it? Did you guys enjoy it?
Larry?
Yeah, I watched like a few hours, I think. I looked at the stream schedule, and yeah, it was pretty fun. It was pretty amazing. Obviously, my favorite moment was Toplot deleting the TC.
You spoiled it! You spoiled it! For all the guys who didn't see it, I prepared that video.
Everyone knows that moment already.
Probably, but yeah, let's just look at it again. And that was a moment where the cousin of the Viper was playing and the Viper was coaching him.
So what do I do with these wheels? I need more food, right? Oh, I need more food. Gold, okay.
Stop 2 farms. Delete 2 of the farms you're not making. No!
No!
Oh boy, that was such a tough moment, and the chat went crazy at the moment as well. And I saw it coming as well, and the Viper was seeing it coming as well when he tried to select the farms and he clicked the GC. And yeah, and that was in front of like 2,500 viewers. And yeah, so a lot of highlights from the Viper there, great preparation and very diverse, streaming there. I was pretty impressed by him.
Yeah, I didn't actually get to see any of it live because I was really busy on that day, but I caught a lot of the highlights, and it's always a lot of fun. I mean, it's difficult to fill a schedule for 24 hours and like be entertaining for 24 hours. So I think he did a really good job with that. And since I don't know how many subs he's at now. I imagine it's over 750. I think he owes everyone another one.
Yeah, he was over, I believe, even in the low 800s. And he dropped now down to 680 or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's kind of expected if you do a 24-hour stream and then everyone gets really hyped for it. But if he does it again, he'll probably bust through 1,000, no doubt.
Let's see about that, because I think there's only so much people which can actually sub in the ASC community. It's not like if he does another 24-hour stream, there are 300 new people who've never seen him and now decide to sub.
I don't know. I don't know if it's necessarily new people, because I mean, if you have 2,000 viewers the whole time, that's going to be nearly 100,000 over like 24 hours. So it's still a huge amount of people who would have tuned in. But I mean, I'm just guessing at that number, but still, I think it's possible.
Yeah. And I always did ask myself, where did all those viewers come from? Like when the Viper streams, he has like 1K, but suddenly he writes on the topic 24-hour stream, and suddenly 2.5K are watching. Why? Why would you watch a 24-hour stream instead of the normal stream?
I don't know, man. I guess people will stay for longer if the stream lasts longer. So it's just like people build up and build up and build up.
Okay.
And then it's like, oh, well, he's doing a 24-hour stream. I'm going to challenge myself to watch for 24 hours. I think it's just a little bit more special.
Okay. So, Lirry, when will we see your first 24-hour stream?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. It's probably gonna die like the man who died in Twitch when he did that. Yeah.
Not ready for that yet. Still need your sleep.
I don't know. But no, will take some time for sure.
I've seen Hart streaming in like the middle of the night. Every time I check Reddit, he's like streaming on the sidebar, and it's like, oh, I can't sleep again. Let's just play some more AoE.
Yeah, that's his
how you
stream
get
title.
good.
That's his regularly stream title, pretty much. He could do it 40 to 48 hour stream. He wouldn't care.
Okay.
Impressive. So anyway, should we move on to our next topic, which is tournaments? Well, we've got 3 topics for tournaments.
Exactly.
We'll split them up nicely.
Exactly. Past tournaments first. Let me look at my schedule. We're starting with Masters of Arabia 2v2. I thought, and I said it several times, Arabia we have seen 1,000 times. 2v2 isn't the greatest team play. Let's see how this tournament goes, but I was very skeptical. And what SMB did there, all the organization, was amazing. And the teams who signed up were amazing as well. And we had so many great games, and I really lost my voice several times casting that, because the games were just incredible. Let's take another look at the signups, teams which we saw. The Viper MBL, Loiser, Mentalist Nick, Winchester Ra, something you haven't heard, but they're still in there. Archcoven, Nikov Miguel, Fire to Gao, Lirry Hart, Rio Doubt Goku, Zupi Zumax, ACCM Cool, Back T Slam, Tattoo Error, Tim, Vivi Chow Fan, Star Goodfeller, and I think I even missed some. So the lineup was incredible. And in the end, we had in the semifinals Zupi and the Max going through, and Nikov and Miguel beating the Viper and MBL, but they came through the loser bracket and fought their way back. And then we had Zupi and the Max taking 3rd place, and in the end, the Viper and MBL came through, and in a best of 11 series, won against Nikov and Miguel. And yeah, this tournament was so incredibly good. What were your thoughts, guys?
I'll let Lirry go first, as always, as he was actually in this event as well.
Well, of course,
We
I
won't talk
didn't
about
really
that.
enjoy my playing time, since I didn't even get to play one time the winner bracket settings. But it was very entertaining to watch. It was very fun. And yeah, a lot of great games, a lot of great players. I think almost like the top 50 Woodby players signed up for the tournament, I think.
Felt like it.
If I'm not mistaken.
Maybe some Chinese were missing, but the rest was pretty much in there.
Yeah, no, it's really cool to see just so many great players and great names in there. And as you said as well, kudos to SMB for doing this, because I think a lot of people don't realize just how much effort and how much time it takes to organize something like this. And this is a big tournament. This is a big bracket. So yeah, really well done.
Yeah, and he had obviously the big problems, like all the top players which were in this tournament suddenly had, other priorities with all the escape gaming tournaments, Microsoft tournaments, and it was so tough to schedule around that. And SMB really had to, manage his anger, so to say, because people weren't responding, people weren't scheduling, they weren't taking the tournament serious anymore, and he had to give admin wins there or threaten people with admin wins. In the end, he made it happen, and the games got played, but it was a lot of work. And I'm still enjoyed those games so much, and Yeah, I could even. That's probably one of the first times I ever said that about the tournament. I wouldn't mind if a new edition would start right now. Maybe it was
Well, you can
Lirry and
never have
Hart.
too much.
Yeah, maybe it was Lirry and Hart this time. For all the guys who missed it, Lirry and Hart. One time they had Hart had internet problems, and they had to give an admin loss after 3 weeks not playing or something, or not able to schedule. Maybe Literally you say what happened there? Why did you give admin win in one game?
I think the Gao and Fire and us scheduled for a weekend, but then during the weekend, Hart's internet fell out, and he said it was like for 1 week maximum, but suddenly there were 3 weeks no UC for him. So yeah, it was pretty unfortunate time.
Then he came back and you lost against the Irish brothers. Was it no preparation that he came? Yeah. What
No, I
happened
don't.
there?
I think we both didn't play our best. We couldn't really play our strategies. We only fought like we fought like in 1v1 ways, pretty much. And yeah, obviously it didn't really help that Hart hasn't played for 3 weeks, so yeah, was everything pretty unlucky, I would say.
Yeah, it was kind of unfortunate. If there was Masters of Arabia 2v2 again, would you change any settings, or would you change anything about it, or would you just go into it and try and do better?
I think I would just go in for it. I would just play it again because I think the settings are cool. Yeah, it's only Arabia, but the random save and then the switch saves can be pretty fun, but at the same time they can also be pretty unfair. But yeah, for that it's switch save, so should be fine.
Yeah, think so
Cool.
as well. Okay.
So what tournament did you want to talk about next? I can't remember the next one.
Now the running tournaments, and I want to start with. Let me take. Oh no! Wait, one past tournament. Clash of the Hippo 3. Some small self-advertising, not intended, but it was very well taken. This tournament had a nice prize pool, and Lirry, you with Hart and MBL won this one. Now looking back at it, how did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was great settings. It was a lot of fun. First of all, we were actually thinking about the settings if we wanted to sign up, because we don't really like no standard map, like no standard starts. So obviously we aren't really that good on them, like we are on regular starts. But then, yeah, then we started to practice actually, like 1 day ago, and yeah, we actually won it.
Okay,
It was
so
pretty
Good
awesome.
job.
do you think that those settings, or like not exactly those settings, but maybe some settings in those directions, could be the future for other AFC tournaments?
Yeah, some like those small tournaments, like on the weekends with some prize money, are really great. They're really refreshing, and yeah, people have great fun watching and playing it, of course. And yeah, could be the future. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think weekend tournaments in general, but what I meant was more like those feudal age, mid resources, maybe no walls, like the let's get into the game a bit earlier settings.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, people would love to watch those games for sure, but then the question is, what players will sign up for these games? Because not everyone likes to play without walls and starting action right away. Some people still want to have some build orders, and yeah, that would be interesting to watch for sure.
Okay. Okay, then let's jump into. Or did you have another question, Zach? I kind of cut you there.
No, it was just about like weekend format in general. Just about how I think it's easy to follow the hype, easy to follow what's going on, and you get to see a whole tournament in a short space of time. So it's not really very confusing. It's very easy to view. Though I do think that it's good to have a mix still. I don't think that everybody should aim to do weekend tournaments. I think we still need to have some good old classic long time period events as well.
Yeah, Yeah, it's always like the Nations Cup. They were building hype over weeks and months, and you really knew, boy, this week there will be the finals, and like a month ahead, I knew this weekend I will block it to view the finals of everything. It was like Worlds coming, all the Nations Cup, Clan Masters, like all the big, huge tournaments, or like Legion tournaments at that old time, when I was hitting the refresh on the side button because I knew today they had to play the finals, and yeah, it was just so good. But then let's jump into the running tournaments at the moment, and yeah, I want to ask Lirry, what do you think about? Let's start the Strike the Balance. We have, yeah, we're now going into the late phase. The top 6 will get money and will jump into a round robin system. It is organized by, I believe, Vubli, Geraldo, and is played on the X patch with a lot of balance changes. And we see the Vipers through, Betty is through, Nikov is through, Lirry won against Stout and is now in the round of 6. And we still have a loser bracket with a lot of big names around there as well. How do you like playing on the patch? How do you like the settings there, Lirry?
I think they're pretty fun to play because obviously they are more balanced. You can pretty much pick on any map. You can pick out of like 10 sieves now because they're all pretty even. What I am missing is I think some bans. I think there should always be like one or two bans for each player on each map because this would be really interesting. Because if you ban, for example, still the top 2 sieves on the balance patch, now I'm really surprised what people will pick in this tournament. But I think there's still like 2 until 5 sieves for still a bit stronger overall than other sieves.
Okay. So, would you say it's better for competitive AOC or kind of the same?
But I guess it depends because obviously most of the people don't want that AOC changes because it's an old game and it's still a great game.
Yeah.
And no one likes to get used to changes if you already like something.
Yeah,
But
probably.
But it can be interesting to see what these players would pick in tournaments or team games and such, different maps.
I think this should be the standard, like the balance patches. They give new changes, they make it more even. So many imbalanced things are either raised or buffed, and yeah, I love it, and I think it's so much more diverse when it comes, as you said, like Arabia. What do I pick? I have 5 nice choices on. If we play normal AOC, we know we have to pick Aztecs. Okay, Aztecs and Huns are banned. Then I will take Britons. Then maybe I'll try to counter some, but it's so it's so clear what is the best civils on every map. And I think with balance patches that kind of changed a bit.
Yeah, you have definitely more options now to pick more sieves on any map.
So what I would like to ask you about balance patches in general, and then the Age of Empires 2 HD balance, which is a bit different again. Do you have to go over the balance changes before you play a match? Because obviously you're not just playing all of your matches at one time. You have to remember the changes. Do you find it difficult to remember the changes, or is it quite easy to just pick it up and remember what was going on from last time?
Well, before I play a tournament game, I always go through the settings again and for all the sieve changes and map changes, and some new maps, of course. But they're all quite similar, the changes, to be honest. It's not that hard to remember them.
Cool, that's good. And as for this event going forward, obviously we've seen the 4 players, yourself, Viper backed, and Nikov progressing to the round of 6. We still have the lower or losers bracket, where 2 more will progress from there. Do you have any predictions for who we might see come out of the losers bracket?
Who is in there again? I don't really remember.
Okay, so the first game is Doubt versus ACCM, and then it's Stark versus Yannick, Slam versus the winner of Vinchester and MBL, and then there's Tato and Mentalist. 2 of them can go through.
I think in the top bracket, I would say that Doubt goes through.
Mm-hmm.
The lower bracket, I would favor Slam, but of course Tato is great player and he can also kill Slam. But I still think Slam has a small advantage.
Cool. So we'll see in a short while then who actually makes it through. As for like these games in general, a lot of people have been saying, you know, great games, very enjoyable games to watch. But a lot of the games have been streamed from the rec games, if I'm not wrong.
Is that so?
I don't know if you know that, Nilford. I'm not sure.
Well, this will be official. They're covering a lot, and with the great Katsuni, who's back and very active there, and Jeanette is casting a lot, and yeah, I saw some recs, but they also covered a lot of live games, I believe. So it's kind of a mixture. But yeah, like obviously if we have like Masters of Arabia, we have Memp no live, me no live, T90 can make a lot of times happen as well. So those are like tournaments where everyone is around, and so we don't need to stream racks. And
yeah, sure.
Yeah, so but Would Be Official is more like yeah, they take prime times, do the racks, and okay, more than 90% were not live and from racks. Okay, then I just took it wrong, and I just randomly picked up all the games which were live. But okay.
Cool. So what else is running right now? Not sure if there was
Midweek Madness is on my list.
Oh yeah, well, okay. I didn't know that. That's always running. Never stops.
Yeah, so it's basically your own small mini tournament series. Talk about that.
Yeah, okay. So every Wednesday, basically different settings, a little bit of fun, nothing too serious. Try to change it up every week and have some good games. Just a little bit different from the standard weekend events that we've been doing. This Wednesday or yesterday, we did the Capture the Relic thing, and it was a bit of a fail because the Capture the Relic games didn't turn out to be very good, which was a little bit of a disappointment, but I probably should have known better, to be honest, since I don't think it's very likely that Capture the Relic games in general would give a good game. We saw basically the one Capture the Relic game that was worth watching out of the 4 that were played, and then we recreated it with 1,500 players on Steam, and that was kind of fun as well, just to see the difference between the two. It was a good laugh. And then I got a show match between Eddie and Doubt on Arena just to close things off, to give a bit of extra content for the stream.
Okay.
But what we really liked was the captains mode thing that we did, where we had Doubt and Viper as captains, and then they had 2 18 to 2K players, and then 2 16 to 1,800 players. And we want to do that again. That would be really fun. And but have different captains. You know, maybe Tato and Nikov could be captains, or whoever.
Nikov is tough because he can't like communicate in English with the guys on TeamSpeak.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, Doubt and Viper had their teams on TeamSpeak.
Yeah.
They were taking it pretty serious. But I don't know. I mean, we'll figure something out.
And those games were like surprisingly high level. Like the Arabia game was incredible.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it was amazing that even with a 2K4 expert in the match, the 1,600 rated players actually they were really important in those games, because if they weren't there, if they weren't showing up and playing well, then it would have been very one-sided. But surprisingly even overall, and I was very impressed with them.
Yeah. So Lirry, will we see you as a captain and leading a team?
Could be good.
We'll see. Yeah, I would like to do that.
Would you consider yourself like a leader in a team game? I think there will be bigger team games with like 3v3, 4v4s coming up. And yeah, you now as one of the top players have to find your role in one of those teams. Do you think you're more like the executor, like let's say Jordan was, or do you think you would be like the leader, knowing strategies and thinking about your enemy first?
In 1v1s, I usually think about what the enemy will do.
Okay.
But I'm not sure in team games because I haven't really been the captain in any team game so far. But obviously there weren't really important team games, like not no important tournament team games. But yeah, I like to think what the enemy will do and make some plans.
How was the communication with MBL and Hart? You all three were in TeamSpeak, and how did you decide on civs and strategies? Was there someone like taking it over?
I think we were all even pretty much. Everyone state their minds, and yeah, then we just decided what would be better. In yeah.
If you had to play in a 4v4 tournament, who do you think you would team with?
Well, hard for sure, and we'll probably do since we're friends all together, and we'll see who else. I don't really have any players in mind now. If it's a fun tournament, Slack time probably, but we'll see. We'll see. If he wanted
Cool.
to, of course, since he's also teaming with the Finlands.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, I would like to see another 4v4 event, to be honest. I just see Nilford waving on the stream, like, pick me, please.
Well,
I could be a great teammate. But, I think that there's not anything else running, though, right now in terms of tournaments, is there? There's tournaments coming up, though. I think we can talk about that next.
Yeah. Okay, then let's switch to the next red dot. Bam. And yeah, so let's start with 1 minute of silence because I want to talk a bit about the FFA brawl of Nobody 41. But he has music underlining his YouTube video, and since I don't want to get muted, we will play this video just shortly without any sounds. And yeah, so
maybe you can narrate it. You should read it out.
Okay.
That'd be entertaining.
Whoops, that was wrong. What am I doing here? Ah, okay. Production value. So, Nobody 41, for the first time, kind of, is making his own series. And we haven't seen that before. Most of the time he was either casting on Probably Official or co-casting now on Escape Gaming. And yeah, he will host an FFA series with a lot of different FFA settings. We can see Capture the Relic. We will see, you will just see it progressing. Regicide, a lot of kings will die. That will be great for all the T90 fans as well. King of the Hill, that will be pretty sick as well. I love King of the Hill format. And those with all the same players. He will take 8 different players and let them play through one day, I believe 6 different FFAs or something. And over a lot of hours. And that will be tough to cast as well. Deathmatch. That can actually last quite some time.
Yeah, deathmatch could be super quick or it could be really long. But like in a 4v4, I feel like it's more likely to go long. Depends on the players, I guess. But I like the settings. I mean, the sudden death game is going to be a lot quicker, I assume, since that's always the case with sudden death. But in general, yeah, it's going to be quite crazy, I think. All these different game modes.
Yeah, and so Twitch TV, Nobody AOE, and it's actually the next Sunday, I believe. Yeah, like 10 days. Yeah, exactly. So prime time, and I'm pretty sure I will see some matches, and we have some reasonable signups as well. Dracon, obviously, a guy who's very much into all those FFA stuff, signed up, and yeah, we will see a lot of players want to play one match, but the system of like having 8 players and playing all of those different formats is super interesting as well, and just let's see how they perform differently on different settings.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be tiring for the players as well, that's for sure. It's tiring to cast that kind of that long and those kind of games, but for the players as well, gonna be tough. Where is the sign up to? I can't seem to find it right now. Can't remember who else has signed up.
Just AOC Zone front page.
Oh, okay. I should probably look at the front page then.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is.
So, Lirry, how big of a fan are you of any FFAs? Is that an option for you, or are you more like the mano a mano fighter?
I don't think. Well, I've never played FFA in my life. I think I'm not really a big fan of it.
Okay.
But maybe if I try it once, I might get to know it better. But I'm not sure if I will try it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think FFA is like a completely different way of playing and way of thinking. Like, you don't want to dare attack anyone because then you end up annoying someone and making enemies. Like, do you play really passively and win at the end, or do you try and win quickly and then get all the resources? It's difficult. You don't want to expand too quick.
Also, then you might get 2v1 or 3v1. Then two players start trading and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Not a huge fan of it.
Well, I think free-for-alls are typically very unfair. It's never going to be a fair game. There's always someone who's going to get screwed.
Yeah,
but I think that just makes it fun, you know?
You have to outsmart it, and you can force like unfavorable situations on enemies, and that's the beauty of mind tricks. And yeah, it is super shady, but that's kind of what I love about it as well.
Yeah, I think that's where I think I would prefer diplomacy instead of like free-for-all with diplomacy. It gets really messy to keep track of what's happening, but it means that you actually have more structure in the game. You can see who's actually friends with who until they decide to turn against each other eventually.
Yeah, but then I feel with diplomacy games go too long. At least that's what I'm doing. But for example, the T90 series, we had like 4-hour games or something, and with like King of the Hill, everyone for himself. It's just like that it's going to end at one time, and you have more highlight scenes following each other up. But yeah, I love betrayal in diplomacy games. It's just such a beauty.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I remember doing a diplomacy game once where one guy had made friends with everybody, and then he covered the whole map with bombard towers and set everyone to enemy, and he won within about 10 minutes.
What? Okay.
That was great, because the bombard towers just killed everything. It was brilliant. But what else is happening? Well, there's the Nobody's Free-for-All Brawl. There's also the No Wall Brawl, which I thought was quite funny because they both came out around the same time and they both had Brawl in the title.
Yeah.
So hopefully no one's going to get too confused.
Yeah, that will be a T90 series. And yeah, it will be super interesting as well. But we didn't really have the sign-ups yet, and it's still some weeks. So I didn't include it. I had to cut some tournaments. It hurt me to not talk about the Deathmatch World Cup, for example. But I felt like, okay, we have to, fix, or like, have to focus on only some events here and have to cut some. And so I did cut that one out. Maybe next Talk of the Empire, I'm trying to do it like monthly now. We might be in the final stages of this tournament and can talk about it a bit more. But yeah, No War Mod generally gives us very entertaining and fast games, and I like that a lot.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the No Walls mods. I would love to see, just like, I know we said we don't want to talk about all these different tournaments, but now I'm throwing out some other random ideas. But I would love to see a completely mirrored map. So where it's basically exactly the opposite on the other side. And then it's still like explored or something, or like, you still have to explore the map, but it's completely mirrored. I think that would be really fun. And that's a little bit more like StarCraft 2, but it would take a lot of time and effort to make something like that.
I think so as well. Okay. What is the big benefit of that?
Well, it's like, I don't know, just a different kind of setting, I guess. I mean, you know where your opponent's resources are because your resources are in the same place. So I wonder how that would affect things.
Also, it would be interesting to see who spends what on which saves. I mean, on which units and stuff like that. How would everyone wall or play open with the same map?
Strategy choices are super important then.
Yeah.
Because you know
Yeah,
how
true, yeah.
your enemy's map looks like. And you know if you have an offensive boar, better send your scout to get that offensive boar of your enemy as well.
Exactly. So I think that
true.
would be fun. But yeah, no one's made any mirror maps yet, like, or complete, like, perfect mirror maps.
Yeah, I personally don't even have an idea how easy that would be. With AOC.
Not very easy. I tried it in the scenario editor and I gave up after about an hour because it just ended up being a mess.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's also, as Ron Rice says in the chat, there's no like unfair maps or anything. Nobody
Yeah.
has. If one person has a forward gold, the other person has a forward gold.
Yeah.
If one person has safe deer in the back, the other person has that as well. So it's completely even.
Yeah, that's super
Yeah,
sweet.
also,
But I
no
think then,
excuses count.
yeah, no excuses on that regard. But I think we might see a huge drop of rating then by the Viper because he can't find his extra safe 8 deers when he has a bad gold spot, which is every game.
And also, yeah, I think it would just be. I think it would be a lot of fun. There was another point I had, but it went. But let's talk about Gladiators of the Arena. I think that's the next one you wanted to talk about.
Exactly that, yeah. That's a tournament I'm very, very excited about. And it will be a 2v2 arena tournament with at least 1k prize pool. And yeah, settings will be very diverse, or tip-wise will be very diverse. And let's just take a look at the sign-ups. And we still have 1 week to go. We have LB10 Skittle Pedro. They are great strategy minds. I think they can sneak games of everyone. We have Nikov and Juan. We have Jon Snow and Lois. That will be super interesting. We have Arrow and Tato, which should be sick. ACM and Cool. Timothy and Matthias, which I have super high hopes for. Miguel and Eddie, probably the favorites at the moment. Probably something like that. And as I said, it's still a week to go. So we will have a lot of more top teams signing up. At least that's what I'm thinking. Lirry, maybe?
We'll see. We'll see. I'm not really an
tournament
arena fan, but might be fun. Yeah.
Prize money, streamed games. Lirry.
Yeah, Hark's already here for the prize money.
Lirry.
I think.
I'm refreshing this page at the moment. I'm still surprised that you didn't sign up.
Maybe we will. We'll see.
What's keeping you away from it?
I don't know. I never liked arena because I don't know. It's like you don't need any macro at all. You just need strategy pretty much. You don't need macro. You don't need micro. It's mostly about the strategy.
Okay.
But of course, some people like that too. Some people like that. So yeah.
I think arena can be a lot of fun. I think you see different strategies that you wouldn't see on your typical open land map or something. So I think it's fun to see different, like, super high aggressive strats. I love to see 1 TC aggression, for example, personally, but that's just from a a viewer's perspective even. One thing I've had in mind about this tournament is that Miguel and Nikov haven't teamed up for this, but Miguel and Eddie have teamed, and Nikov and Juan have teamed. So I mentioned that because Miguel and Nikov actually played together in the Masters of Arabia. So they've kind of changed things up there.
But when you saw the games, the communication wasn't very peaceful between the two of them. So
yeah,
I was not seeing a great relationship between those two going out of the tournament.
They still got to the final though, so it was clearly a team that was working well, but I think they both feel like, well, maybe we can do better if we join up with someone else instead. And I'm interested because obviously I think when I interviewed Nikov for Return of the Kings, he said in his interview that it was a communication thing with him and Miguel. But Miguel is teaming with Eddie now, so it's not like Miguel is going to be speaking in Portuguese still. So I'm interested to see how that's going to go. And obviously, I think him and Eddie are going to make a fantastic team anyway. But still, I'm curious to see how that's going to play out.
Yeah. And Miguel Stark and someone in the chat just said Stark and Winchester just signed up. And Winchester lacked to really deliver in the last month, we have to say. Basically after the 1v1 Arabia tournament, like 1.5 years ago. But I'm a huge Stark fan. And yeah, very excited to see the two of them teaming up. And they can, I think, not really fight for the title, but they can knock out great teams for sure.
They can do some damage, that's for sure. Who do you think we might see sign up as well on top of that? Who's really missing from this? I'm not seeing Slam. I'm not seeing Viper or Doubt. Not seeing Riot.
Yeah, I don't
not
think
seeing
that
Dogal.
I think Riot will not sign up. The Brazilians in general will mostly not sign up, I believe, for Arena. But yeah, the Viper is missing, Doubt is missing, Slam is missing, NBL, Lirey hard, and let's maybe look through the 1v1 ratings again. All the Chinese guys, obviously. Back T is still missing.
Yeah, I think he might be interested. I don't know who you might team with, though, actually, because ACCM and Cool have gone in together for this one.
Yeah, then he had to go with Yellow. Unlikely. Maybe with Slam. Back T and Slam.
Yeah, could be nice.
Could be. And Finnish players are missing as well. Zupi, the Max.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't... I would expect to see the Max signing up, to be honest. I would like to see that anyway.
Yeah. So I think that's a tournament which is very promising to me.
Cool.
And now that we convinced Lirry as well to team up card, it's even better.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think it's like slinging kind of forbidden or an Imperial Age. I kind of forgot. How was that again?
Just trying to find out real quick.
Sling. Oh, someone.
Yeah, no, there's nothing.
What?
About slinging, as far as I can see.
Tournament rules.
I don't see it.
Sling. Thought there was
there's
something.
nothing about slinging, as far as I can see. Nope. Can't see anything. Maybe they'll add something later, but I mean, that would be cool, to be honest, if slinging was allowed. Because I think slinging is it opens a lot of doors for different strategies on Arena as well. I don't know if it would be a dominant strategy, though.
I'm confused. There was something, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Well, we'll have to clarify that. I don't see anything in the rules, though, right now about slinging.
Gladiators of the Arena mod. There it is. Increasing slinging base text to 75%. Coinage removed. Banking moved to Imperial Age.
Okay. So
Coinage
it's in the
removed?
mod, that's why.
Coinage is just not an option anymore in general, and it's just banking in the end. Okay. That makes sense
Got
now.
it.
Yeah.
So it's not in the rules, it's just in the mod. Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So that basically says sling and Imperial is an option, but before it's absolutely not possible. Like 75%, that's just...
That's too much.
Too much, yeah.
Makes sense. Okay. So, yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah. So, Lirry, what tournaments are you hyped for in the future?
I heard something of what we won gaming con tournament where the top 4 players are going to a gaming con. I heard. Obviously, I'm interested in that tournament.
Yeah.
And of course, any tournament where there are standard maps or some Arabia or some land maps. And yeah.
Cool. Well, this weekend is elimination draft. That's all about land maps, since we can't make it work with all different maps, I guess, due to the way the banning works. But that's going to be a lot of fun. And the thing about Gamescom is we will announce details about that next month in April. That's going to be really fun.
Yeah.
And me and Nopford can recreate the Talk of the Empire photo in real life.
Ah,
Yeah.
spoiler alert. Yeah.
And T90 is going to be there as well. It's going to be cool. It's
Sick.
coming over. Yeah,
Sick,
it's going to be
sick,
great.
sick. And what else? Elimination draft. We have a new setting format now with like a Swiss system. Why did you change the settings there?
Okay, yeah. So basically, the main idea about elimination draft, the key thing about the tournament is the way that the civilizations are eliminated as the players play. So every single game that the players play, 4 civs are banned by their opponent, and then they pick 1 civ. And they play a total of 6 games, which means that in total, 30 civs are either banned or picked. And that leaves 1 civilization left over since there's 31 civs in the game. And the only real way to make that actually work and make it fair was to do a round robin style thing. But since a round robin with 8 players is like 84 matches if you do a best of 3, that wouldn't work. So we had to do it Swiss, since you can do a lot less games with a Swiss format and still get a winner. So it was really the format which did like the civ banning system which determined how the format of the event looked.
Okay.
But I think it's going to be fun. I think Swiss is a really kind of uncommon format. It doesn't quite have the build-up that you would have in a single or a double elimination, because there's no like grand final, and that's why we added the final best of 3 just to finish things off and have like a grand final feeling.
A question from the chat: why were Hart and Lirry ranked 8th in the last Escape 2v2 tournament? You can answer that, then I can answer.
Well, I asked you to do the.
Okay, I did the
rankings.
seeding. Okay, then I can
You
easily
did the
say.
seeding.
Yeah, okay.
But no, there was another reason as well. We wanted to make sure that the time zones were not time zones, but the what was it? The regions of the players kind of matched up, and I think we only had to make one minor change to have that happen, right?
Okay. Yeah,
I asked Notford to do the seeding.
Yeah, I can give you a lot of reasons. First of all, Lirry and Hart, when we had the tournament signups, didn't even own the expansions, so they never played that before. They haven't really delivered in any tournaments, and we kind of knew they were young and probably a bit shaky with the nerves, which we actually saw in the Nomad game there. And then we knew they didn't play a lot of other maps than Arabia and BF, and we knew it was very diverse. And yeah, obviously we had 7 other incredible teams. So yeah, with just not having performed before, except the rated games, I just felt like it was justified to give them seed 8. But maybe Lirry can now after the event say, did you feel like seed 8 was reasonable there?
Maybe, but I don't know. I think the Sith, the Sith felt a bit, well, how to say, frustrating, I would say. Because in our example, we had a migration, the first map, and Nomad, the second map. And obviously, that's the worst scenario you can get with the Siths. And that was a bit frustrating, to be honest. But I kind of a bit understand the 8th seeding, since Hart has never played any tournaments, and so did I, or at least didn't really show the best results. So yeah.
Yeah, I think, when you compare like with all the other teams in that tournament as well, it's difficult to get like the seeding exactly right. So I think you have to. Well, I gave it to Notford because it was a difficult decision. So
Yeah,
I think it's fair.
I talked to other players as well, and they kind of agreed. And it wasn't only me doing everything. I know that's a super big decision. And for example, for Clash of the Hippo 3, when I did the seedings, I asked like 15 to 20 players because it was so tough to decide. Like Lirry, Hart, MBL, and all the VNS guys, for example, said like, why are you seeding them at seed 3? They haven't won anything yet. And a lot of people were like not having high hopes for you. And yeah, in the end, obviously, the tips were pretty unfortunate for you in the big Microsoft tournament. Yeah. but
Yeah.
it
But I
it
mean,
is.
my
Yeah. Go ahead.
sorry, I was going to just say that my thing about these events is that people should try not to have any hard feelings about being picked or not being picked to play, because we're going to try and do lots of different settings, and we're going to try and keep these events coming and keep them regular. So over time, we're going to be better at organizing them, and we're going to be better at setting the settings as well. But also there's going to be loads of opportunities for people to play and to get involved, especially with the European one as well, because that's going to be completely open signups. So literally anyone in Europe can sign up. Obviously that's limited to Europe, but who knows? I mean, we could do something in the future that's exclusive to the Americas or to Asia, whatever.
Why are
Lots of opportunity.
Why did you limit it to Europe to have like reasonable flights?
Flights, visa issues, just all the extra administration for getting people from Asia, for example, to come into Europe for a weekend. Also the distance, since it's a weekend event, the LAN is just one day, and players will fly in the day before and they'll fly out the day after.
What?
So if you're doing that from America, yeah, it's not very nice on you if you've got the time zones to deal with.
I thought Gamescom was like 5 days, and I felt like, wow, we will have a lot of days, 5 days of AOC. It's only 1 day.
Yeah, one day. It's a whole day of playing. So, and players will have plenty of time before and after to get like comfortable or whatever. But we don't have the stage for the whole weekend. We have Gamescom ends on Saturday, and that's the day that we're doing the Age of Empires event.
Okay. That's short. But,
It's short, but it's gonna be sweet.
4 players, we can still like they're opening at like 10 in the morning and closing at like 8 p.m.
Like
or
11.
something?
I think it'll
so
be later.
Okay.
It'll be later.
So we will have at least 12 hours of streaming something?
We'll have a full day for sure.
Okay.
It'll be good. Trust me.
We
It's gonna be
will
great.
have enough thoughts
I'm
about that later. Yeah.
I'm getting a stage designed. It's gonna have big logos up in there. It's gonna be awesome.
Okay. But wouldn't it make more sense to show the logos longer?
Sure. Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is that they're planning to do other stuff on the stage on the other days, so we can't have it for the whole time.
It's all good, all good.
Yeah.
So, Lirry, if you can create your own next 2v2 tournament, how would it look like?
Cool. I guess I will put mostly land maps there, but of course also maps like some fair maps, for example, islands, or for example, I like the migration of the HD version. You find the sheep instantly, and yeah, then you can actually see who are the better normal micro players, who has better strategy and stuff like that. I would definitely create a 2v2 tournament with like open maps, of course, where your game style is placed on micro, macro, and stuff like that.
Okay.
But not only Arabia and land maps, of course.
And maybe sheep spawning closer. I think in other maps it is fixed, right? I think the expansion have sheep spawning closer.
Yeah, that's also pretty cool because sometimes they can really ruin your strategy. For example, water maps, for example, islands you want to fast up and you don't find your sheep at under 1 minute, and your start is pretty screwed, I would say.
Yeah. If you get screwed on the start on a map like that, it's really hard to come back as well. So, yeah. What else is coming up though? Is there anything else coming up at the moment, or have we actually covered everything so far?
I gave you my schedule of things to talk about, and I think we're through.
Wow, good job.
Yeah. So, Lirry, what other questions would you have expected us to ask you?
I don't know. I already saw some questions in the chat. But...
We want to answer some of them.
Yeah, let's see. Would you like to see a BF tournament again in 2017? I guess someone has to make a fairer mod for BF, because sometimes the map can just be so unfair in BF. Also the extra boars, extra sheep, trade lines and stuff like that. Lakes, of course, too. And yeah, but it can be fun, because I think BF is the most played map on Wobbly right now. Maybe not on competitive, but for lower rated players. And yeah, if there would be a mod for BF, it would be awesome.
Yeah, I think a lot of people can enjoy Black Forest because a lot of the lower rated players who are generally spectating play it. So makes a lot of sense.
Okay, I think we don't have to drag it for too long. Thank you so much, Lirry, for being here. Zero, did you
Thanks
want
for
to
having me.
Did you want to say anything? It felt like you wanted to start a sentence there.
Oh no, not really.
Oh, okay.
I didn't have anything else to say, so I was like, "Yep, I think we're nearly done here.
Nearly
We're nearly done.
Ah!
Yeah, we're nearly done."
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks, Lirry, for being here. Zero Empires, as always.
Thanks for having me.
And yeah, I think we will wrap it up here. I will show you the pride of my newest T-shirt again, and I'm super happy with it since I did it so many times in real life. And
That's some good stuff.
now I can wear the trophy. And
I'm actually wearing my Escape Gaming T-shirt at the moment. I don't know if you can see. I'll stand up as well.
Oh no advertising
It's nowhere near
here.
as good as yours.
No. Let's clear that. We are a non-advertising channel here.
No
kidding.
product placement at all.
Yeah. Sponsored by Escape Gaming.
Anyway, yeah, thanks a lot, Lirry, and good luck for the weekend as well. Sure, we'll have some great games.
Lirry, you have an exam tomorrow, right?
Yes, I do. But it's not really that important one. I think it's more like easy, to be honest.
Oh, but we had to start earlier than I wanted to because you wanted to get into bed early.
But still, I should study a bit, but...
Okay. Did you study at all before?
Yeah, I did. Like a few hours, I think. Like 2-3 hours.
Okay. That's reasonable. I think that's more than I did in my whole school career. But yeah, I ended up without a job and playing computer games. Feels bad, man.
Get the sad violin music out now. I didn't study very much when I was in school either. Well, I didn't revise much, but yeah, it turned out okay at the end, I guess.
All bad boys here, and bad example for Lirry. And yeah, guys, thank you so much. And that was Talk of the Empire, episode number 4. And tune in next time. And Lirry, just quickly tell us your Twitch name.
Oh yeah, post it in the chat as well.
Yeah, that would make sense. Like, is it Lirry just how your normal name is?
Yeah, it's like that.
Let me look it up.
Yeah.
Lirry.
Just like Lirry, no capital letters with 2 Y's in the end.
Twitch
Awesome.
TV / Lirry. And no underscores, right? Yeah. Okay. That's all fine, guys. And yeah. If you want to see the #1 Woobly player playing, go check out the channel. And guys, see you around.
Thanks a lot. See you later.
See you all.